Okay, let's say that you want to get better at hearing triplets over 16th notes, specifically when you take out some of those notes. So for example, let's say you wanted to hear the second and third partials of a triplet over the E and the A of 16th notes. I'm going to show you how I work on this kind of stuff in Octopus Sequencer and some of the features that I've put in to make it kind of easier to do that. So we're going to use the top line feature, and in order to do that we click down here in this top line routing section. I'm going to use pitch, so I'm going to route sequences 1 and 2 to top line, and that makes these buttons available. And what top line is, anything that you draw in the top line of that sequencer will be routed through this control panel. You double click here, it brings up a control panel. And because we've routed it to pitch, then you're going to hear notes played from this list of pitches, which you can clear and pick a note and add it. See, it gets added down there. Pick another one, click to add it, it gets added there. So now if I press play, we're hearing the hi-hats as well because I didn't mute the hi-hat. So if I take the volume of the hi-hat down, we're just going to hear these two notes played. So what I'm going to do is use this quick add to add the C major scale. And now when I play, even though there are 4 notes here, it's playing through the whole scale. I'm going to click this button that says looping all pitches. So now it restarts every time it gets to the beginning. So we have 16th notes playing the first 4 notes of the C major scale. So I'm going to close that, and in sequencer 2 I'm going to set the rate to 12, which is 12th notes, and I'm going to set the length to 3. I'm going to draw in 3 notes on the top line, mute the volume of the hi-hat there, and double click to get the top line settings. And this time I'm going to clear this. I'm going to start on the 5th note and add. So I'm adding the C major scale from G up. You can choose different route, you can choose different scale, choose whether you want to go up or down. But this, if I mute the first sequencer, this is this. So again, I want to tell it to restart. So now we just have 3 notes in the triplet. This is the volume control for the top line, by the way, so I can bring in the 16ths. So let's take the tempo down a little bit so we can hear what's going on. So with the pitches, you can it helps you to focus on the 4 or the 3 because you can hear that increasing little scale. And so when we take notes out, you'll still be able to kind of imagine this pattern. And the way I'm going to take the notes out is by using the volume controls. So down here you have the velocity selector. So this is for sequencer 1. So at the moment it's got 8 steps. I'm going to say let's have 4 steps in there, and then you can drag the volume of the steps. So if we do this, then it's going to get louder. And we can use this to take out some notes. So let's say we want to take out the E and the A. So that's essentially 2 versus 3, but instead of being the first and second notes, we're hearing the first and the third note. So you can still imagine that whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's all 4. So we'll take out the third one. And then we'll take out the 4th one. Okay, and then we could do the same one here. So this is for sequencer 2. So I'm going to say that we have 3 steps here, and we'll take out the middle one. I can bring the volume of all these down if I want to just listen to the triplets. Let's take out the first one. So let's say you wanted to hear what a jazz ride pattern sounds like. You could put 6 steps in here and take out the 2nd and 3rd and the 5th. So now we have, so that's kind of like a swing ride pattern in triplets. and then we can hear what it sounds like to play a note on the and against that. And if you want to hear the one in there as well. So the reason I said like I use these pictures is so I can kind of in my mind I can imagine what it sounds like to have the E and the A in here as well. Take those out again. If you wanted to shuffle. So that's just some of the fun things you can do with this, and that's giving you an example of how you can use this option to restart the pitch list when you go back to the beginning of the sequencer, and how you can also put different steps and velocities in. There's also a button here to loop all velocities or restart velocities at beat 1. So that would mean that where we have 6 here, if we've got the jazz ride pattern there, if I said restart at 1, then we'd only hear the first 3 of this and it would go back to the beginning, so you just hear on the beat. If you want to get yourself a copy of Octopus Sequencer, just go to joecrabtree.com/software. You'll need to get a Masterclass account in order to download the software. That's just so that when there are new versions, you'll have immediate access to download those. If you have an account, log in, or you can log in with Facebook, or you can sign up. It's very quick and simple to get an account. Once you're logged in, you'll see the links to buy the software at the top of the page.